Oh, hey guys, it's me again. It's Ben again. It's Britannica, Ben, and Chev, and we're here to bring you injuries today. Nah, hey, in all seriousness though, look, we got start sits. We just got the actives and inactives. We're gonna talk through some key injuries that are gonna inform how you're doing your last minute setting your lineups, and maybe some potential gambling action. But on that note, I wanted to bring up the fact that this show is sponsored by ProfitX. ProfitX is the number one peer-to-peer sports prediction market in the universe, multiverse, stratosphere, ionosphere, whatever you want to call it. So ProfitX is a place where you can go and get the best odds on the market by eliminating the house and being able to make plays against your peers. So sign up for ProfitX today using promo code FFD and get up to $200 back over your first 30 days of usage on the app. The more you play, the more chances you have to earn your money back. So sign up for ProfitX today. That being the case, all right, now that we got all of the fiduciary responsibilities out of the way, and we're not responsible for generational wealth, we're just responsible for you letting you guys know who's hurt and who's not today. So I've done a lot of talking. Ben, the floor is yours. Where do you want to start today with these cumbersome injuries that are a part of this beautiful game that we play?
Let's talk about the quarterback injuries. I feel like that's the one that's really affecting people the most this week. Between of course, losing
There's
Burke.
one.
Go ahead.
Wait, there's one that's affecting us more than anything else, brother. And we hit it right
Is
on.
it the one that Rocco is talking about right here?
Yes.
Dude, you know that I'm excited. You've been praising the good word of Tucker Kraft all off season, and it was funny because Austin had messaged in our group chat like earlier this week, basically that there were reports of Tucker Kraft missing multiple weeks from a knee injury that was undisclosed at practice. And then we started to get like, oh, it wasn't that serious, so he might miss the game. But then don't worry, for the long term, the rest of the season. And then yesterday we get the news, or it was like yesterday, the day before, we get the news that he is good to go and expected to play. So I am not worried about Tucker Kraft at all. I think any other option on your tight end roster is not going to have the ceiling that Tucker Kraft is.
So this is an interesting one for me, and we don't really have any sort of definitive, like the Packers play this super close to the vest. I don't really have a ton of insight. I don't think you can wax poetic if you want to about what we potentially think it could be. So do you have a lean as to what it could be? Like we saw him bang knees. I think that was the right knee though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a knee injury, but the question is it something muscular? Was it a mild sprain? It's hard to know. I think people started making the assumption that it was a ligament sprain or just a general knee sprain. I think you should definitely exercise caution starting him, but he's still going to be the best tight end likely on your roster if you drafted him, somewhere in those 9, 10, 11th round as your starting tight end. But yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of these guys coming in today, including Emeka Egbuka. When we're talking about guys that will likely be playing, but on snap counts possibly, I'm still going to be playing Kraft with no concern, knowing that hopefully he plays the whole game.
Well, I mean, the only information we have to go off of is the fact that like they say he's going to play. I don't know I don't really know what to expect with that, but yeah, I'm rolling them out there because I don't really have, like you said, you don't really have another option. One of the leagues, which I'm in way too many leagues to begin with, but most of the leagues where I have Tucker Kraft, I also have like a deep bench stash, like a Juwan Johnson, or like I drafted Tyler Warren in the start 2 tight end leagues because I like Payne. And, so yeah, I'm starting Tucker Kraft today. I'm not taking him out of my lineup. I'll just deal with the dud performance that comes with not being like Brock Bowers or Trey McBride.
Yeah.
But I interrupted you very rudely when I said I was going to stop fucking talking. That's my bad. So let's get to the quarterbacks. Cook.
All right. So I think the biggest question on everybody's mind is timelines in regards to how long these backups are going to be going for and starting in your rosters. I think Jake Browning, the Joe Burrow injury, all of us know now that that's going to be a long-term backup replacement, and they're not seeking out another quarterback on that roster. So Jake Browning is going to be starting in your roster rest of season if you're playing in 2 quarterback leagues and it's a deeper league, or if you're really hurting at quarterback in a single quarterback league. But then you move on to teams like Marcus Mariota and Jaden and the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is expected that he has a knee sprain as well, like we just talked about with Tucker Kraft. But it was a mild knee sprain. At least the mechanism of injury has been leading a lot of experts to believe that it was a mild PCL sprain. He had landed on his knee in a flexed position, so that would lead a lot of people to think that PCL, or the posterior cruciate ligament, was the part of the knee that ended up getting sprained. He should be fine going forward next week, hopefully. So Marcus Mariota, really just a 1-week rental. As far as Carson Wentz and the JJ McCarthy situation, it was at the end of the week 2 game for the Vikings that he ended up rolling his ankle, I believe under another player's contact, and they're expecting 2 to 4 weeks being out. So expecting McCarthy back between week 3 to week 5. So definitely roll Wentz in those lineups if you don't have anything better. And is there any other quarterback injuries that I'm missing? I feel like those were the main. Oh, sorry, Justin Fields. So
yeah, Justin Fields is a concussion, but you go ahead and kind of just kind of illuminate what the swiftness of the ruling him out, basically like Wednesday, what that could potentially mean.
Yeah. I think the fact that it wasn't a game time decision means that it was likely more severe than your more mild concussion that players might get. They ruled him out really early. And so he has to basically pass the 5-stage or 5-step concussion protocol, which if you do have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me. It's pretty basic. I mean, the first stage is essentially rest and just getting your body right for the first couple of days. Step 2 is essentially just adding in cardiovascular endurance or exercise, whether it's treadmill, bike. And then you start to add in a little bit more strength training and resistance training. The following stage is starting to add in football activities, and then stage 5 is full go. But I expect that hopefully Justin Fields is back for week 4. But yeah, there was no chance he was going to be playing, and so Tyrod Taylor steps in, and he's again likely a 1 to 2 week rental for your team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really dangerous game when you realize like, oh, well, this is not just one of the run of the mill. Like Devon Achane got a concussion and then played the next Sunday. So like being ruled out so quickly is like, oh, there might be some real serious side effects going on. So in all seriousness, hope he's okay. Hope he's able to bounce back. I mean, brain injuries are nothing to laugh about, nothing to sneeze at. So want to definitely take it pretty seriously. We got a couple questions here. Kelsey or Kraft? I mean, you know where I lean. Do you have a particular lean as well? Same way.
It's Kraft.
So we're team Kraft, brother. Eder, Rivas, Mr. Rivas, I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I'm just gonna answer the question. It's Tucker Kraft for us.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, dark horse, top 10 QB. So, Huncho, this smells to me, and Ben, you can tell me if I'm tripping here. Like this smells to me like Jordan Mason is the RB1 overall this week potentially, because I feel like Kevin O'Connell's seen Carson Wentz play football before, and that leads to a ton of carries for Jordan Mason. What do you think?
Man, I've been burned just trying to get Jordan Mason in multiple dynasty leagues, and people are just keeping the clutch on him right now. He to me right now is a RB1, like top 12 potential this week for Jordan Mason. I'm not big on Wentz, man.
No.
You got to put on the steel underpants for that one.
For sure. Like you gotta, yeah. You gotta just be confident that like that squishy feeling in your britches it, it could be swamp ass, but it could be something more sinister. So just, do what you will with that information. Let's see here. All right, let's have a day. Full PPR, 2 questions. Need 1 tight end and 1 flex. Jawan, T. Craft, Quinshawn Judkins, and Ibuka. 1 DST. Bengals at Minnesota. Washington at Las Vegas. Chargers versus Denver. Was leaning both tight ends in first question. Both tight ends is. Go ahead.
I was going to say both tight ends or Quinshawn Judkins and Tucker Craft, because to me, I mean, Ibuka is a great play, but this week with him being on a snap count, I'd rather start either one of the running back or Juwan Johnson and Tucker Craft.
Yeah, to me, with Juwan Johnson getting like a 96% route share and basically running the most routes at the position, being a full-time player in a full PPR league, like he's going to return value. So that's really safe. I think Tucker Craft has proven to be pretty safe through 2 weeks. Quinshawn Judkins and Ibuka are both kind of home run swings. Like it depends on what your matchup's looking like and who you're going against. So obviously, I think the safe play is Craft and Juwan Johnson. If you want to go swing for upside, I'd go with Juwan Johnson and Quinshawn Judkins just to give you a safety floor ceiling play.
Mm-hmm.
We got to answer 1 DST. Bengals at Minnesota, Washington versus Las Vegas, or Chargers versus Denver. I lean towards Chargers versus Denver. But
yeah, I mean, they're playing really well right now this season. The other one I lean, I guess, is Washington and Vegas, but I mean, they're all really close.
What, did I skip somebody? Who did I miss? Hold on. Half PPR start one. My bad, Mike. My bad. Have start one. Quinton Johnston, Pickens, Olave, Judkins, and Ramondre. Half PPR. Think you got to roll. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm going Judkins there.
I think I gotta go. Oh man, I gotta go either Ramondre or Pickens. The reason being, one, the Bears allow the most fantasy points per drop back again in zone coverage and in man coverage. It's just really bad. And 3 of their corners are out today. No Kyler Gordon, no Jalen Johnson, no Jalen Jones. So
yeah,
I Pickens is one of my favorite plays this week.
And I should say too, Judkins is playing against the Packers defense, so their rush D has been really tight. So it's tough because I think Judkins is the better talent between him and Ramondre, and half PPR makes me want to lean running back. But I also see the point of the Bears defense being hurt and wanting to pick the wide receiver 2 in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's wheels up for every single Cowboys player today, with Dak being one of the most aggressive starts. That
it's probably gonna be a shootout, man. What's the over/under in that game?
49.5.
Yeah. Give me the
over. It may have moved, but the last time I looked at it, when I did the running back and wide receiver start sits, I believe it was 49.5. Yeah, that game screams shootout because Eberflus just plays like that shitty cover 3, and the Bears play. Dennis Allen doesn't know how to play anything besides cover 1 and like another version of shitty cover 3. So that game should shoot out pretty easily.
Wait, but is Eberflus with the Cowboys?
Yeah, Eberflus is a DC for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Fucking exactly, man. He sucks so much. Anyway, I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm not gonna do it. It's not. I'm not gonna do it. Flex, London, Johnston, Evans, Chubb. I'll let you take this one. You answer and then I'll backdoor. No Diddy.
I mean, you're going for the stud here, London, but I think Evans is also going to have a really nice week.
Yeah. So in concert with the Bears being one of the worst teams against, in allowing fantasy points per drop back, so are the Jets. Like the literal worst. And they play 45% of their snaps in man coverage. And on top of that, they allowed the 0.87 point fantasy points per drop back. So Mike Evans is one of my favorite plays this week. He's been getting peppered with targets, and his hamstrings are healthy right now. So if Ibuka's on a snap count, like this is a potential blow up spot, like a vintage Mike Evans game.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I am
Yeah.
sitting at Luka over him
Yeah.
in one of my main leagues.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, man, are we giving up on Tracy crying on the inside? Brother,
It's trending
brother,
down.
brother. Yeah. Big trending down arrow that's like, just like a burning knife heading towards, heading towards Hades. I don't really know what to do with Tracy. Like, this is just not a comfortable situation. This is just not a comfortable situation for this not Washington. This, New York backfield. I don't like having running backs in shitty offenses. And despite Russ having his best performance since 2019, I don't think it's sticky. I do. If you got to pick one, you got to pick Scat Pack because he's getting way more. He got way more work last week. And if they're going to be in
And you got to
competitive
think
games,
too,
yeah,
with
go ahead, go ahead.
possibly Dart coming in, that Scat is going to get a little bit more of a connection there.
So that's an important point. That's an important point, and I'm glad you brought that up because Andrew Thomas is supposed to play today, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Thomas, the $100 million left tackle for the New York Giants. I just want to verify that. Ben, give us some. Make sure that there's no dead air here while I look this up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, just that, I think Jackson Dart is the biggest beneficiary of that. I think they were kind of holding out on Jackson Dart really coming into the game until they had Andrew Thomas back. And then, of course, again, we saw the Scat touchdown last week, and I think he's really the biggest beneficiary as possibly Jackson Dart getting transitioned into the game.
Yeah, it's the issue with throwing Jackson Dart out there in just some sort of half-hearted you know, let's see. So Giants standout
Mike said in
Andrew
the chat, he
Thomas, who
said
has,
like a maybe.
yeah, it looks like it's still a maybe. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. That is the Sunday night football game. So we don't have to make any decisions right now. Russ is probably going to be in your lineup if he's not in your lineup. The Chiefs play an alarming amount of cover zero. They played almost 20% cover zero, which is double the next closest team in the entire league. So this could be a massive blow up spot again. Russ played pretty well against the Chiefs as a Bronco. And he came off his best performance since 2019 last week against a team that just plays a lot of soft, like gives up a bunch of single coverage opportunities. Shout out to Joseph for the P Whopper stat that helps put you on game. If you haven't, go follow Quality Stats. His Substack is incredible. If you like being good at fantasy or betting stuff, go follow Quality Stats. Partner of the program, friend of the show, and we have the show bet on it. So yeah, make sure you definitely do that. Let's see here.
I did want to talk one thing here, Chev.
Bring it.
Going back to injuries, Evan Ingram. So Evan Ingram had been dealing with a calf strain for the first couple of weeks and then finally gets worked back in last week and then leaves or at least is listed as questionable or out this week because of a back injury. And we're talking back strain or sprain for an older tight end. When we talked about it with Matthew Stafford in the offseason, we were really worried, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a concerning injury at this point. We're expecting multiple weeks with Evan Ingram at this point. And so, now you've got just kind of a garbage can tight end room of Adam Troutman and everything below that.
Be honest with you. If you're having to start Adam Troutman in any sort of redraft league, you've done it really wrong. Like now, Dynasty, I can understand. Like I have Adam Troutman on a couple tight end premium leagues. I understand from a Dynasty, but redraft, like absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't bring myself to do it. Let's see here. Good morning. Need some help. Got start 3, bench 1, Chuba, Hubbard, Swift, Ricky Pearsall, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt. Bench 1. Yeah, I'm gonna bench Ja'Cory Krosky. I'm gonna bench Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you follow the show for any period of time, you know I love Bill. I love Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. We both do. We've both been on record, on wax, saying some pretty aggressive things about what we think he could be. But we're talking about guys who are guaranteed volume here and roles. And, right now, Bill doesn't really qualify in terms of the way that goes right now. So What do you have anything? Do you think any? Do you feel differently?
No, I mean, Bill hasn't really proved anything to me at this point. That 80-yard touchdown week one was not something I want to I want to chase. And he definitely came down to earth in week two against the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Expected against the Packers, but you have Austin Eckler out now, so we have a lot of hope for Bill. But I would rather start Swift in that situation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see here. All right. Thomas is a maybe for this week, a lock for next week though. Yeah, Mike, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Let's see here. Who do I start? Browning, Russell Wilson, or Mac Jones? Lean. I'll take this one, and then you can chime in. I'm gonna go Browning.
Yeah, that was where my lean was.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Browning. I don't believe in the Cincinnati defense at all. And I mean, not the excuse me. I don't believe in the Minnesota defense with the current injury setup that they have right now at all.
Yeah.
And I think that Browning is a seasoned veteran. He's 29 years old. He played well in Joe Burrow's stead when he took over in the back half of 2023. So people are kind of writing him off, but I don't agree with that at all. So I think, I lean Browning.
And he has the best weapons, maybe outside of CMC and other
Yeah.
things
Oh
like
yeah.
Malik Neighbors. But yeah, the collective, definitely Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, T. Higgins.
Yeah. Is there anywhere else you wanted to go injury wise?
As far as injuries, I think the last one I really wanted to cover was Xavier Worthy, right? So
Yeah.
we know that he's out for this week. The nice part that Sleeper did for us was they listed him out very early in the week. But I expect that hopefully he makes a week 4 return. It's something that we're going to have to watch as the season goes on. He's decided to go through the non-surgical route to deal with a torn labrum. It was funny because I found people in the comments on Twitter saying that it was a full tear. It was a full tear. Well, there is no such thing as a full tear with a labrum tear, right? You don't get a 360-degree tear of your labrum. The likelihood is you can get up, somewhere in the realm of half of your labrum being torn or a 180-degree tear. But he's going to try and play through it. The hope is that he can withstand everything that he's dealing with the shoulder, and then by the offseason end up having offseason surgery. But I don't know, especially with the position he plays. I think, we talked about it the last show, right? A quarterback, especially on a non-throwing shoulder, can possibly, make it some weeks or even by the end of the season withholding from a surgery. But I'm going to want to see how this plays out for Xavier Worthy.
Let me ask you this: like, with a torn labrum, how much is your range of motion affected? Like when you have to reach over your head, or out away from your center line, midline, like distally. Like, how does that affect your range of motion going over your head, going,
Eventually, after a lot of time, which Xavier Worthy has not had, you can get that range of motion back, and unfortunately have some instability. At this point,
Right.
it's very acute, and so the likelihood is he's very limited, most likely in his range of motion, especially being able to pull away from his body. And as you are going into that position, it's opening up that tear. Most labral tears that we see are on the anterior side of that shoulder, and so it's going to be very uncomfortable for him to be able to extend in that way, and or be able to abduct his shoulder to be able to make catches or make plays.
Yeah. And that, like, anterior means front. Abduction is things going away from your body. Yeah. I follow. I have a degree in exercise science, so I follow, but I wanted to make sure it's layman's term. Like, I was like, oh, I get it. Like, we're here, but I wanted to make sure everybody else was with us on that.
It's hard for me to turn the PT brain off sometimes.
Yeah.
Much easier for me to do it in office, but yeah, if you guys want the knowledge, the lingo, let me know.
Yeah. Here we are. Pick one: Stafford, Mariota, Stroud, Penix. So Stafford against the Eagles, Mariota against the Raiders, Stroud against the Jaguars, Penix against the Panthers.
Penix.
I have no issues with that. It's either Penix or Stroud for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? I mean, Carolina defense hasn't, like, the secondary still hasn't been looking that great.
No, we had some interesting dialogue on the Bet On It show earlier this week about the Carolina defense and what they potentially represent in terms of betting opportunities. They just play super soft cover 3, cover 4, and try not to get. They just like, hey, make a mistake before we get to the end zone. The offense is like, nah, we'll just score, and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Jatavian Sanders breaking out, currently T16 on the Carolina offense. I think so, man. I think JT Sanders is really good, Huncho. Like, I really believe in Jatavian Sanders. I mean, he had 9 targets, 7 catches last week, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I like Jatavian Sanders a lot. I think with Xavier Legette just completely forgetting how to football, he could end up as a number 2, especially until Jalen Coker comes back. Jalen Coker, I think, is going to end up the wide receiver 2, but that's just kind of where I lean. Let's see, Goff or Penix. Goff against. Yeah, we'll go Penix this week, even though Goff's coming off that 5 touchdown game. Let's see here. Start 1, half PPR. Devonta Smith, Judkins, Judy. Judkins for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially half PPR.
Yeah, Diego. Yeah, we already answered that one, brother. Let's see. Sam Darnold or Geno Smith. Darnold against the Saints. That pretty much answers your question for me. Geno against the Commanders. Yeah, go Darnold.
Yeah.
Saints D has played. They're plucky, but again, I don't think they have the pieces yet. I think Brandon Staley is a decent defensive coordinator. He's kind of the one that kind of grandfathered the whole match concept thing, but I don't think they have the pieces yet. But they're playing better than what we thought they were. Let's see. Also for the flex, non-PPR. Oh, this is nasty work. Non-PPR? Brother, what are we doing? I'm not here to judge your decisions at all, but like non-PPR, that's scary. This is spooky hours. Travion, Harvey, Tootin, Ridley, or Golden. Fuck me to tears. I'm gonna go Ridley.
Yeah, not Golden. I don't want to start Travion.
I mean, Hail Mary play, maybe Golden, but none of these options feel really good going into Sunday.
Ridley feels safer.
Yeah, Ridley's the safest. I've been saying that I think that, Pittsburgh's defense has been so bad and they're without a couple key pieces again this week, if I'm not mistaken. They're without Highsmith, they're without Joey Porter Jr. Like, I think that this game, like, they're missing some key pieces that would actually make a difference. Keenan Allen or Ibuka, again, non-PPR. We're getting into safe word territory, boys. It's a judgment-free zone, but I'm judging.
I actually have to lean Keenan Allen, I feel like, here. It's
just
really tough because it's injury. And then, of course, Ibuka really, really thrives off of, I mean, he's really been propped up by the touchdowns. We kind of talked about that in the group chat recently this week.
Yeah, without question. Yeah, we're going Keenan Allen here comfortably. Just the uncertainty with how much Ibuka is actually going to play is what we're looking at here, and that's kind of concerning. So we got to go Keenan Allen. He's been a stud thus far. Devontae Adams versus Philly. How we think he's gonna cook? He's gonna be awesome. I don't really like how like are we saying like how high he finishes this week? I think he's a great play. Personally. All right, do you have any pushback on that?
No, I mean I'm always betting on the Rams, especially when you have Puka on the other side.
Yeah.
I think this game is going to be higher scoring than what people give it credit for.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. My wife says hi. Hello, wife. Let's see here. You're only 3 stars, no 5-star reviews today? That's fine. I guess. That's fine. Ben, before we get out of here, I told you we're going to keep it to 30 minutes today, and I keep my word. Tell us where we can find you on the Twitter X verses and everything that you're working on, brother.
So, main place where you can get a hold of me on Twitter, at Dynasty Big Mac FF. As far as our social media, I'm with the Dynasty Gambit. We cover dynasty game theory and how you can win your leagues on a year-to-year basis, right? And how to really get ahead of your league mates. As far as we're on YouTube, TikTok. We're also on Twitter as well, so please follow us on there. And then if you want to get a hold of us on our Discord, just please DM me. We can get you in there. We got a free Discord where we discuss a lot of things between injuries, start sit, dynasty questions as well. So please feel free to reach out to us, and we can get you in there.
Yeah, and this is one of the sharpest minds. This is one of the sharpest minds in the PT space, and one of is over the last 6 months. Like we talk almost every day, so I've developed a deep appreciation for this man's mind when it comes to injuries in the game of fantasy football in general. So, guys, make sure you go give him a follow. And before we get out of here, I need to give you the keys to generational wealth. All right, and what I'm going to give you here is you take this here. What we're looking at here is going to be a CeeDee Lamb over on yards, and I'm going to put this up here real quick so you guys can see it. Bam. That's the key to generational wealth for today. CeeDee Lamb over 79.5 receiving yards. If you wanted to get spicy, you can do George Pickens over 2 because this Bears defense is absolute dog shit. So that's not financial advice. These are keys to generational wealth. I am Chef GPT, aka Chef Dor Sanders. That's Britannica Ben McCown. This has been your live show injury updates and start sits. Boys, we got one more. Drake, Swift, or Caleb Myers. We're going Drake and Swift here. All right. Ben's got to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take care. Until next time. Good luck, everybody.